A strange power starts spreading across the world. It gives people whatever they truly want the most. But there's a problem. Every wish comes with a hidden cost. As people keep making wishes, the whole world slowly starts falling into chaos. And in the middle of all this, a fearless warrior returns. Now she has to face powerful enemies and make a very painful choice. To save everyone, she must choose truth over her own desire, even if it means losing everything she loves. So, let's begin the story. From her childhood, Diana was trained to become a great warrior. She grew up on a hidden island with the Amazons. Even as a little girl, Diana was very brave and skilled. She was smaller and not as strong as others, but that never stopped her. In fact, she used her weaknesses as her strength. That's what made her special. One day, during a big competition, Diana was about to win the race, but suddenly she fell off her horse. Now she had two choices: either give up or cheat and take a shortcut. Since she really wanted to win, she chose to cheat. She quickly got back on her horse and moved ahead. She was just about to win, but Antiope stopped her. She had seen everything. She knew Diana cheated. Because of that, Diana was not allowed to finish the race. Diana felt embarrassed and started crying. But her mother came to her and comforted her. She told Diana, "One day, you will become a great legend, just like the greatest warriors." Years pass. Now it's 1984. Diana is living in the human world. She quietly protects people without anyone knowing who she really is. One day, a group of robbers attack a mall and steal from an antique shop. They try to escape, but soon realize they are surrounded. In panic, one of the criminals grabs a little girl. He uses her as a shield. Things get worse when he tries to throw the girl from the second floor. But right at that moment, Wonder Woman appears. She saves the girl just in time. Then she uses her magic lasso to catch the criminal. The lasso forces him to tell the truth. After that, she quickly captures the rest of the gang as well. Once everything is under control, she hands all the criminals to the police and disappears quietly. Because even now, no one knows who she really is. People keep wondering, who is that woman? Where did she come from? But Diana doesn't care about fame. She is still trying to move on from her past. She still misses Steve Trevor, the only man she has ever loved. The next day, Diana goes to her workplace. There she meets Barbara Minerva. Barbara is a very smart scientist, but she struggles to talk to people. She feels awkward and lonely most of the time. Later that day, Barbara is studying some ancient artifacts. Diana comes to help her, since she is new. At that moment, they find a strange stone. It is said that this stone can grant any wish. Diana thinks it's probably fake, but still, she quietly makes a wish. She wishes to have Steve back. After that, Diana invites Barbara for lunch. She notices that Barbara feels alone and wants to help her feel better. At the restaurant, they start talking. They share stories about their lives. Diana then tells her she once loved a pilot, but he died years ago. That same night, Barbara is walking home. Suddenly, a drunk man stops her. He tries to force himself on her. Barbara gets scared and calls for help. And right on time, Diana appears. She throws the man away easily like it's nothing. Barbara is shocked. She starts wondering, how is Diana so strong? But instead of going home, Barbara goes back to the office. She takes that wish-granting stone and makes a wish. She says, "I want to be strong and confident like Diana." The next morning, Barbara wakes up in the office. She quickly fixes herself, so no one notices she slept there. As she walks out, she meets her boss. He tells her to show the museum to a special guest, Maxwell Lord, a big oil businessman. But when Diana meets Max, she feels something is off. She starts to suspect him. His donations to the museum don't feel genuine. Meanwhile, Max is actually struggling in his business. He is losing to a powerful rival. At his office, he meets his young son, Alistair, and he realizes he has to spend the weekend with him. Then one of his investors comes to him and gives him a warning. Max has only 48 hours to return the money. Otherwise, everyone will find out that he is a fraud. Later that day, Barbara goes shopping for a dress. And something surprising happens for the first time in her life. People start noticing her. She looks confident, beautiful, and different. Max sees her and gets interested. He invites her somewhere private. Since Barbara already likes him, she agrees. They go to her place. While she is distracted, Max secretly steals the Dreamstone. At the same time, something unbelievable happens to Diana. At the museum, a strange man approaches her and says he knows her. At first, she ignores him, but then something feels familiar. After asking a few questions, Diana realizes the truth. Steve Trevor is back, but he is inside someone else's body. Diana gets emotional and runs into his arms. That night, they walk together under the stars. Steve is amazed by the modern world. Everything looks so different to him. Planes, lights, buildings, everything has changed. They go to his apartment and spend time catching up. Steve slowly tries to understand his new life and new body. Meanwhile, Max finally has the stone. He goes to his office and makes his wish. But unlike others, he doesn't ask for money or power. He asks for something crazy. He wishes to become the Dreamstone itself. Suddenly, the stone starts breaking apart. Its power transfers into Max. Now he has a wish. The next morning, Barbara wakes up. She walks to the fridge and suddenly, she notices something strange. She feels stronger than before, much stronger. At the same time, Diana wakes up next to Steve. She is extremely happy because now she knows it wasn't a dream. Steve is really back. Even though she wants to stay with him all day, she knows something is wrong. So she decides to find out the truth. How did that stone bring Steve back in someone else's body? Meanwhile, Max goes to meet his investor Simon. He talks with full confidence and says his company will soon become huge worldwide. Back with Diana, she helps Steve dress in modern clothes. Everything feels new to him. As they walk through the city, Steve is amazed. Cars, buildings, technology, even the subway, everything surprises him. Before starting her investigation, Diana takes Steve to her workplace, the Smithsonian Museum. She shows him around. Steve gets really excited, especially when he sees the aircraft section, planes from different times, the whole history of flying. He absolutely loves it. Meanwhile, something big is happening with Max. When he reaches his office, he finds out that all his oil wells are suddenly working perfectly. Oil is coming out everywhere. Max can't believe it. Just yesterday, he was about to lose everything, and now everything is turning in his favor. His office starts getting tons of calls. Investors are suddenly interested again. His secretary struggles to handle everything. She asks for help, and instantly new employees show up for interviews. Max hires them without even thinking. Back at the museum, Diana asks Barbara for the stone. She wants to study it, but Barbara tells her something shocking. She already gave the stone to Max the night before, because she thought it was just a fake. The moment Diana hears this, she rushes out immediately. Steve goes with her. They reach Max's office building. Outside, there's a huge crowd. Diana doesn't waste time. She breaks a big lock and enters through the garage. They go up to his office. Inside, they find many notes and research papers all about the wish-granting stone. Now Diana is sure this stone is something very powerful, maybe even created by a god. If that's true, then it's way more dangerous than they thought. While searching the office, Steve finds something important in the trash. A flight ticket. Max is going to Cairo. Right away, Diana decides to follow him. She takes Steve to the Smithsonian airstrip so he can pick a plane. Steve gets inside. At first, he is confused. The controls are very different from what he knows, but he learns quickly. Soon he starts the engine. The plane begins to move. At that moment, security notices them. Alarms start ringing. Guards rush in to stop them. Now things are getting dangerous. Diana realizes if they don't do something fast, they'll be caught. So she decides to try something risky, a power she got from her father long ago, the power to make things invisible. She has only done it once before, so she closes her eyes and focuses hard. As the plane takes off, suddenly it disappears, completely invisible. Even the radar can't detect it anymore. Later as they fly, it's the 4th of July. Fireworks light up the sky. Steve watches in amazement. It's his first time seeing something like this. Beautiful lights everywhere. He smiles like a child. Then he flies the plane above the clouds, so they can see everything from above. The lights shining below look magical. Diana looks at him and smiles. She tells him how amazing he is at flying, because even she still hasn't learned how to fly like that. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Barbara finishes her research and leaves the institute. She rushes home quickly. On the way, she meets the same drunk man again. The same man who tried to attack her last night. But this time, things are different. Now Barbara is confident. She is strong. When the man comes close, Barbara grabs him and throws him hard against a truck. He falls to the ground, but she doesn't stop. She kicks him in the chest and throws him far away again. She keeps attacking him again and again. And for the first time, Barbara actually enjoys it. She says she can do this all night. But just when things are about to go too far, a homeless man shows up. Barbara suddenly stops and walks away. Something inside her has started to change. Meanwhile, Max arrives in Cairo, Egypt. He meets a powerful oil businessman. The man is surprised. He asks Max how he became successful so quickly. He knows Max was almost bankrupt. Max smiles and asks him a strange question. What is your deepest wish? He promises to fulfill it in exchange for all his oil. The businessman laughs because he has already sold his oil to someone else. Max gets angry, so he takes something from him instead of his entire security team, and suddenly chaos begins. Because the man had unknowingly made a wish, a giant wall appears in the middle of the city. Everything turns into a mess. Now back to Diana. As she reaches Egypt, she spots Max's car going in the opposite direction. Without wasting time, she buys the taxi driver's car and starts chasing him. Max sees them and orders his guards to stop them. The soldiers start shooting. Now Diana has no choice. She puts on her Wonder Woman suit and goes to fight alone. She doesn't want Steve to get hurt. She grabs a truck and uses it as a shield while moving forward. She takes down one gunman, but more soldiers arrive. This time she gets shot. Diana hides under a vehicle. Seeing her in danger, Steve jumps in to help. He drives a car straight into a tank and destroys its weapon. Meanwhile, Diana keeps fighting. She flips trucks and jumps onto Max's car. She tries to stop him and asks for the stone. But then she realizes the truth: Max doesn't have the stone anymore. He is the stone now. As the fight continues, Diana gets trapped between two vehicles. She is about to be crushed, but suddenly Steve saves her using a tank. He blocks the vehicles just in time. Then Diana sees something scary. Two small kids are playing nearby. They are right in danger. Without thinking, she runs to save them. With Steve's help, she reaches them just in time. She grabs the kids, but suddenly she loses her strength and falls down. As the vehicles come closer, she uses her own body to protect the children. Luckily, the drivers turn away at the last second. The kids are safe, but something is wrong. Diana is getting weaker. After that, they see helicopters flying across the sky, and in the distance, a huge wall has appeared. Because of this, poor people now have no access to water. The whole country starts panicking. Diana calls Barbara and learns something shocking. The stone has appeared many times in history, and every time it destroyed entire civilizations. No one who used it survived in the end. Barbara also finds a lead, a man who claims to be a Mayan shaman. He might know the truth. She shares his address with Diana. The next day, Barbara goes to meet him first. Soon, Diana and Steve also arrive. The man welcomes them. They start asking questions, and finally the truth comes out. The stone is cursed. Every civilization that used it was completely destroyed. The power of wishes always comes with a price, a very dangerous price. The man explains after his people were wiped out, the survivors buried the stone. They wanted to make sure no one would ever find it again, but sadly, that plan failed. After reading the ancient records, Diana discovers the truth. The stone was created by an evil god, the god of lies. This god made the stone to trick people, because the stone gives you your wish, but in return it takes away something very precious, something you truly love. Now, everything makes sense. Diana understands why she is getting weaker. She got Steve back, but in return she is losing her powers. And that's not all. The only way to stop all this chaos is either to destroy the stone or give up your wish. But there's a big problem. The stone is already gone. Max has become the stone, which means if Max is stopped, all wishes will disappear, including Steve. Now Diana faces the hardest choice of her life: save the world or keep the man she loves. At the same time, Barbara realizes something too. If she gives up her wish, she will go back to being weak and ignored again, and she doesn't want that. So she decides she will not give up her wish. She walks away. Meanwhile, Max is getting more powerful. Important people come to him and he grants their wishes. But every time he does that, he takes something from them in return. Power influences anything he wants. But slowly, his body starts getting weaker. He feels sick. Something is wrong. While Max plans to meet the president, Diana is thinking of another way. She doesn't want to lose Steve again. She tries to find a solution without giving up her wish. In her office, she looks at a special armor. It belonged to a legendary Amazon warrior, a warrior who once sacrificed herself to save her people. She stayed behind so others could escape. Her bravery became a legend. Diana once searched for her, hoping she was still alive, but all she found was her armor. Meanwhile, Max reaches the White House. He meets the president. The president makes a wish. He wants more nuclear weapons to defeat his enemies. In return, Max takes his power and authority. Now Max becomes one of the most powerful men in the country. As he leaves, Wonder Woman appears. She catches him with her lasso and tries to stop him, but Max orders his guards to attack. A fight breaks out. Diana is weaker now, so Steve protects her. He even uses a tray as a shield. Together, they fight back. Diana uses her lasso and takes down the guards. Steve also helps and grabs a gun to protect her. Just when Max is about to be caught, Barbara appears and attacks Diana. Now it's friend versus friend. Barbara has changed. She is stronger, faster, and doesn't want to lose her new life. She fights Diana without holding back. Meanwhile, Max escapes. Steve runs after him, but Barbara keeps Diana busy. During the fight, security guards arrive and start shooting. Barbara attacks them easily. Diana, even in her weak state, tries to stop people from getting hurt. But Barbara doesn't care anymore. She is ready to hurt anyone just to protect her wish. She even injures Diana badly so Max can escape. Before leaving, Barbara gives a warning: "If you come after him again, I will kill you." After the fight, Steve helps injured Diana. They look around. The city is in chaos. Everything is falling apart. Diana realizes if nothing is done, the whole world will collapse. At that moment, Steve understands something. There is only one way to fix everything. He has to go. He tells Diana, "If I stay, you will keep losing your powers, and only you can save the world." Diana is heartbroken. This is the only thing she ever wanted, to have Steve back, and now she has to lose him again. Tears in her eyes. She finally makes her choice. She kisses Steve and says goodbye. Then she gives up her wish, and instantly her powers come back. Now she is stronger again. Without wasting time, she goes after Max. She uses her lasso to grab onto a flying plane and pulls herself up into the sky. High above the clouds, Diana finally learns how to fly. Meanwhile, Max is now live on TV. He speaks to the whole world and tells everyone, "I will give you your greatest wish." People everywhere start making wishes, but as their dark desires come out, the world starts falling apart. Chaos spreads everywhere. Fights, destruction, panic. The whole planet is breaking down. But Max feels amazing, because every time someone makes a wish, he takes their strength, health, and energy. He is getting more powerful by the second. At that moment, Diana arrives. She is now wearing golden armor. She fights her way through guards, blocking bullets and throwing enemies away. She reaches the entrance, but suddenly Barbara appears, and now she has completely changed. She looks dangerous. Her body has transformed. She has claws and a tail. She is no longer human. She has become a cheetah. Without hesitation, she attacks Diana. Her speed and strength are insane. Diana uses her armor wings as a shield, but even that starts breaking. Barbara is too powerful. Now Diana understands she must fight her seriously. She removes her wings and attacks back. A brutal fight begins. Diana knocks Barbara down and swings away using her lasso. But Barbara chases her using power cables to move fast. During the fight, both of them fall into the water. Diana sees a live electric cable about to hit the water. She holds Barbara and gives her one last chance. Take back your wish, but Barbara refuses. So Diana has no choice. She uses the electricity and shocks her. Barbara collapses. Diana quickly pulls her out of the water, saving her life. Then she goes after Max. But it's not easy. A powerful storm is forming around him. She tries to get close, but gets pushed back. Now Diana realizes she can't defeat him by force. So she tries something else. She uses her lasso and connects with Max. Through it, she shows him the truth, the destruction, chaos, suffering everywhere. At the same time, Max sees his son, Alistair. The boy is scared alone, calling for his father. That moment hits Max hard. He realizes everything, all the damage he caused, all the pain, and most importantly, he realizes he is about to lose his son. Finally, Max makes the right choice. He gives up his wish. Instantly, everything goes back to normal. All wishes are undone. The chaos stops. Even a nuclear war is prevented at the last second. The world is saved. A few moments later, Max runs to find his son, and finally he sees him, safe. He hugs him tightly and realizes his mistake. He tells his son, "I just want you to be proud of me." Months later, it's Christmas time. The world is peaceful again. People have rebuilt everything. Diana walks through the streets watching the snow fall. She looks calm and at peace. Suddenly, a man walks up to her. She realizes he is the same man whose body Steve used. For a moment, she remembers everything. But instead of feeling sad, she smiles. She is thankful, because she got one last chance to see Steve again, even if it was only for a short time. And with that, her story moves forward. So, what did you think about this story? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.